womanlywealthacademy.com with Louise and Maurice.
With that information, now you can go out and connect with prospective clients, because in step number 2, you have to be able to read their minds. And with that information, you can anticipate what people are going to talk to you about. And I'll show you another way that you can do that. So you go to networking function, charity event, maybe even your high school reunion. And especially if you're at a networking event, you don't know people, so you introduce yourself, they introduce themselves, so you just ask them, instead of where are you from, ask them, have any vacations coming up? And then they're like, I've used this for years, all right? Because this is where, as a coach, I want people to talk to me. And I've also used this with my coaches that I train, right, in Wealth Coach Academy, and they're like, it's so amazing. People talk to me. But yeah, just that simple question. Have any vacations coming up? And they're like, vacations? Who's got time for vacations? Oh my goodness, I'm just so overworked between work and my home life. I'm swamped. I am so stressed out. And because you know this and you know the questions that they've been asking, you can start throwing some things in like, yeah, I know. Well, have you ever thought about just having an assessment, just a quick assessment to actually see where you're out of balance? I'm a wellness coach and I use this with my clients. It's amazing. It kind of eases the load a bit. And they're like, wow. Yeah, because when you are feeling stressed in any area of your life, it affects every other area, right? It's that holistic approach that I take to wellness, because if you're not well in one area, it's impacting. And they're like, yeah, I understand. This is exactly what's happening. And at the end of the day, I'm just so exhausted. It's like I don't have any fun anymore. And you're like, hey, let's continue this conversation. Why don't we set up a time tomorrow, 10 or 15 minutes, Skype, and let's go over that. And they're like, oh, I would love that. I tell you, just the gift of you listening to them, they're like, yeah, let's set this up. So you get their information and you say, okay, tomorrow at this time, I'll call you. You got your phones out, everything's set up. So you now are on that Skype call with them, and all of a sudden, that person that you met yesterday is not the same person that you are talking to today. And they're throwing all of these objections, and you're like, what happened? So I want you to be a fly on the wall, and I want you to, in their objections, I want you to see if you can spot what they are trying to avoid feeling with those objections. All right? See if you can hear what they're trying to avoid feeling, and be that fly on the wall and listen in on that conversation. All right, are you ready? Let's continue. Yeah, it's from the time I met you at the networking event till this phone call. I've been talking to my friends and they were all just kind of laughing at me like, wellness? Why do you want to be well? Why do you want to have every area of your life working? What are we going to talk about? This is what we talk about. And I don't know, I got thinking like, maybe this is just the way it should be. Like, I've got so much going on in my life, but so do all my other friends. Like, this is just normal right now. Being stressed out and having just no time. This is just the way it is right now. And yeah, who am I to think? I mean, I would just be so lonely. I wouldn't have anything to talk about with my friends. This is what we talk about. So yeah, well, wellness coaching, that sounds all great and stuff, but not right now. So thanks a lot.